Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I am going on a road trip. Before I get into that though, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. This is 60 books in 60 days, a challenge where I'm challenging myself to read 60 books in 60 days, one book a day, every day for the next 2 months. If you're not subscribed and you want to follow me along on this journey and get your physical TBR down with me, you could go ahead and subscribe. We are officially on week 3. I'm filming this, it's July 14th when I film this, and I have officially read 14 books in July. I'm going on a trip this week. We're probably gonna just get right into it, and you're gonna see a lot of me and my friends going on our little road trip that we're going on.
Am I in the shot?
The sound the dinosaurs make.
Yeah. You like high pay? He's stretchy. He's dummy thick now.
We are officially in Murphy's, and I am reading Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I'm on like page 50, and so far I'm liking it a lot. Frederick Bachman's like one of my favorite authors, but I'm a little bored. Like, I'm just a little bored because right now it's just all character introductions and talking about hockey. But I know from like what I know about this book that it's gonna get better. I'm just like a little worried about like when that's gonna happen. I know it's gonna make me cry. It's a little later in the night, but we just got like all settled. We're all going to bed now, so I'm gonna finish up this book. I'm really excited. What is?
Yo mama.
I am home, and I have done such a job at making this a reading vlog. I am so sorry. Every time that I was like, oh, I'm gonna update, I wanna do this, everyone was asleep, and I was like, oh my god, I don't wanna be too loud. And I just didn't have any time other than that. I was out all day, I had a great vacation, but because of that, I didn't really update, and I missed a few days, 3 to be exact. But before you click off this video and unsubscribe, this is 60 books in 60 days. We're still reading 60 books in 60 days. Today is going to be my catch-up days. So the books that I missed, the books that I did not get a chance to read were these 3, Six Scorched Roses, Have I Told You This Already, and Percy Jackson. So I'm going to be reading all 3 of these books today, as well as reading my day 20 book, because it is technically day 20, Love and Other Flight Delays. Let's get reading, and let's start out with Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. Through this. Luckily, the 3 books that I missed were actually the shorter ones I brought. I brought 5 books for 5 days, obviously, and I read the 2 longest ones. I read Beartown and Carrie Soto's Back. So I don't know why I was able to do that, but not the other 3 days. I think it was just like, oh, it's short, I'll save it till night. Oh, it's short, I'll save it till night. And then I was just like so beat that I fell asleep. Because the 3 books that I am now catching up on were all short, I'm like not worried about it at all. I've literally just like flown through this, and this is also not like a consistent story story. It's a nonfiction book of essays. I don't know who Lauren Graham is. She is Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. I would totally recommend this if you like Gilmore Girls, but also Lauren Graham is just like a silly, funny person. Like, she very much is Lorelai. There's a lot of that like really witty, funny, silly humor in here. This is so her voice, which I'm really enjoying. If you just like silly little like funny stories about Hollywood, I totally recommend. And it is all essays. So each and every single part of this book, like each chapter, each essay is like 3 to 5 pages long. It is a super quick read, and you're just like kind of reading like a stream of consciousness from her. So I've been like flying through this. So honestly, I think I'm gonna finish this within the next like few minutes. I'm not gonna rate it necessarily because it's a nonfiction. I just automatically give all like memoir nonfictions 5 stars. I'm enjoying it. It's written well. It's really good. It's silly. It's cute. It's like a very like easy palate cleanser, and I definitely recommend it if you want a nonfiction. But I also like don't know how I feel about being like rating people's lived experiences. I am enjoying it a ton. Like I said, if you're a fan of Gilmore Girls, I so recommend it. There's not a lot about Gilmore Girls in this one specifically, but there are like a few mentions of Gilmore Girls every few essays. She talks about like some on-set moments, and like there's just like really fun things like that. All very lighthearted, all very fun. I did finish Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. I don't really have anything more to add to this. Really, it was just like a bunch of books of essays. I really liked how she went into like her relationships with other people in this book specifically. It's like very sweet to see how much she cares about other people and how she really feels like a mother to a lot of people. There's a whole thing about how she has friends from all different ages and she could learn so much from each one of those people. It was just a really sweet, easy, insightful read. Definitely recommend if you like Gilmore Girls. Definitely recommend if you just want like an easy nonfiction. Again, not rating it because it is like a memoir about her life, but I give it a 5 stars on Goodreads just for like the sake of having a rating there. I am now going to pick up Six Scorched Roses. Again, thank God that the books that I was like missing in this video were all very short, because I think it's very plausible for me to actually get through 4 books today, because 3 out of the 4 books are like 200 pages and they're easy, quick reads. This is the novella in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, the Serpents and the Wings of Night series. I'm a little concerned because I remember the Serpents and the Wings of Night. Like, I could tell you the plot, I know what happens, but I don't like remember a lot about the characters or the actual like storyline leading up to things, because when I read it, I was kind of in a slump. I'm a little concerned for that aspect, just like memory wise of like my actual enjoyment, but I do think it'll be a quick, easy read. Like, look how big the words are on this page. I've had like such a nice day. I've just been like watching YouTube. I actually did want to show you guys some things I bought in Murphy's where I was with my friends, because I did go book shopping. I am big on, if I walk into an independent bookstore, I'm gonna buy a book from it because I want to support independent bookstores, you know? So that's my excuse. I only bought 2 books. I have not bought any other book since Reckless. It wasn't even like I broke my book buying ban with Reckless, because I had it pre-ordered for months. I'm starting to very much think of my fall TBR, because the video I'm filming today, spoiler alert for my channel, the video I'm filming today is my August TBR. And of course, August is still gonna be 60 books in 60 days because it'll be month 2. But I only have, I think, about 20 books. So I need 10 more books from another TBR, meaning my fall TBR is coming. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. But I do have to film my August TBR today. And because of that, I've been thinking a lot about my fall TBR. One of them is gonna be a reread, because I've already read this book before, but I just want to reread this version because I think it's pretty. The first one I got is Wuthering Heights. I really, really like this book. This is like the perfect fall read if you want a classic. It is a romance. It's a fun book. It is a very fun book, and it's interesting because it has like that gothic vibe that the Bronte sisters like bring to their work. Excited about this. Look how beautiful this cover is. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be a spoiler for my fall TBR. If you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed and you are going to want to see more from me from either this series or from like my fall TBR, you might as well subscribe now. Like, you obviously like me if you've made it to this point in the video. You should subscribe so you don't miss that, because my August TBR is actually coming out this Saturday from when you guys are seeing this video. And then the next book I bought was When the Moon Hatched. I've just been hearing so much about this and it's been really on my mind. I did not realize how gigantic this book was till I was in the store. Look at this. What is nearly 700 pages, but I've heard like nothing but good things, and I think this would be like a really good like fall winter fantasy book. While I was in that small town, they had a cute little toy store, and let's just say baby bought her first jelly cat. It's a little espresso cup, so I named her Sabrina. I love her so much. Like, I specifically have wanted this jelly cat forever. And the chances that this small store that had like 7 jelly cats just had this one, I was like, I have to buy it. Everyone say hi to Sabrina. If you're still watching at this point, comment hi Sabrina. I'm going to start 6 Scorched Roses right now. Then we're gonna get ready, film a video, and read the rest of our books for today. I'm on chapter 8 of 6 Scorched Roses. I, so far, am enjoying this much more than I enjoyed Serpent and the Wings of Night, and it's making me think, because I remember being in a slump reading Serpent and the Wings of Night, it's making me think I need to reread that book, you know, because I obviously am really enjoying Carissa Broadbent's writing, but the characters in this book are also different than the characters in Serpent and the Wings of Night, in the first book at least. I actually, like I said, don't remember enough about Serpent to remember if these characters appear in that book. I do not. I like am trying so hard to recall. I'm like, I don't know. So I do think I need to reread that, especially before going into the second book of the series. But I did see things about this book being important to the next book. So whether these characters are in the first book or not, you definitely should read the novella, I've heard, because it is important to understanding the second book in the series and possibly like the rest of it. I actually don't know much about this series other than I just have been seeing things on that, but I am enjoying this a lot. I like these characters more as main characters than I did with the main characters in Serpent, even though I do remember enjoying those characters as well. I just feel like I'm more into this story. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm on page 57. I think I'm gonna be done pretty quick here, like within the next like hour and a half. Finished 6 Scorched Roses. I like ate this up. I loved this book so much. I love these characters and I felt like so connected to these characters specifically. I think I definitely need to reread Serpent and the Wings of Night. Maybe I'll put that on my fall TBR and just like read it through so I could get to the next book in the series, because I love Carissa Broadbent's writing. Sitting back and reading this and being like, I barely remember that first book, like makes me think like I definitely need to like get on that and start reading that again, because I really enjoyed this one. And I am not in a slump reading this. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling motivated. We have 2 books down in one day. I'm still like disappointed that I failed those other 3 days, but at the same time, I was with my friends and I'm glad that I got to like spend time with my friends, you know, and I was like in the moment, like enjoying my moments with them. So I'm not like too mad about it, but at the same time, I'm like, dang, it's okay though, because we're catching up. We're catching up now. I'm going to get ready, film my TBR, and then we're gonna pick up one of those books. My TBR video is filmed. We are going to now pick up our 3rd book of the day. I'm feeling actually so slay right now. The book we are going to pick up is Percy Jackson. I thrifted this. This is the 2nd book in the Percy Jackson series. I am making my way through it. I'm really excited to like get into it and actually like really read the series. I loved the first book. I know I'm gonna be able to get through this one quickly because it's literally a middle grade and it's like 200 pages. So another short, easy read. We're gonna get into this. I'm excited about it. I don't know how much I can say. I don't know if spoilers count for Percy Jackson anymore since it's been out for so long, but I also don't want to spoil it, so I'm gonna do my best. Reading Percy Jackson, all was well. I literally was like getting ready to go to work and all of a sudden I just started having horrible stomach issues. Again, what's new with me, but this is like not like my regular stomach issues. It's just been like not fun. So for the last few hours I've been like withering in my bed in pain, but I feel like I can actually like read and update you again. I did make it to page 149, chapter 11 of Percy Jackson. I'm going to finish this up really quick. I'm really enjoying this. I like Percy Jackson, but it's hard for me to like actually talk about these books, I feel. And I feel the same way about the Harry Potter book. I actually don't talk about the Harry Potter books as much as I love Harry Potter because I don't support J.K. Rowling. I do love that series. I feel like it's hard to talk about Harry Potter whenever I do read them or reread them because I've reread them so many times and I know so much about the series that I'm like, I don't know what is considered a spoiler and what is not considered a spoiler. Still using Harry Potter as my analogy here. It's like, yes, we all know Harry Potter is the orphan boy wizard, but what after that counts as a spoiler for the series? Like there's just so much. And since I know what happens, it's hard to get my reaction. And I've never read Percy Jackson, but I do know what happens just because the series has been so popular since I was a kid. Even though I've never read it, I've interacted with the content enough to like know what happens, but also not know what counts as a spoiler. Overall, I'm enjoying this book. I think Rick Riordan is such a good author. I think he's so funny and he somehow writes from the perspective of a a 12-year-old perfectly. I know the first few books, same with Harry Potter, start out like very like sweet, fun, like a little childish, and then all of a sudden there's like lots of war. I could see the audience growing with the characters, you know? And so I'm excited to get deeper into the series and go more into the lore because I know some heartbreaking things about Percy Jackson. Again, don't have like a lot to say. I'm gonna finish this out and then we're gonna start our book for today. I did finish Love and Other Flight Delays yesterday, my 4th book, and I talked about it yesterday, but every clip I filmed, this happens to me sometimes. This camera has a setting that puts it in slow motion, and it looks pretty much identical on my screen to the setting where it's not in slow motion and everything's normal. I filmed every clip in slow motion. Normally, I could just speed it up and put like a disclaimer or something, but I can't because this camera also mutes it if it's in slow motion. None of my clips had audio and they were all in slow motion from literally the point I started reading this book. Sad day for me. Y'all didn't even see me talk about Percy Jackson yesterday because that was in slow motion too, but I did read Percy Jackson and Sea of Monsters. I have the same thoughts about it where I'm like, I don't know what I can say about it. I did like this one. I like the first one a little better, and I am really looking forward to the rest of the series. I know the series isn't fully mature. It's still a middle grade series at the end of the day, but I do know that the older the characters get, the more mature themes are dealt with, and I'm like excited about that as a 23-year-old woman who's reading these for the first time. It's just like a little young. This book just helped me connect with the characters more, and I was really enjoying it. I ended up giving it like a 4 stars. It was good. It was a fun time. It was a quick, easy read, especially if you are a 23-year-old woman. I got through it really fast. I had a fun time reading it. I'm excited to see like where the series goes. But y'all didn't see, I'm trying to remember everything I said about this book yesterday because I'm about to put it all into one because I did finish it yesterday. I picked up Love and Other Flight Delays. Did not realize this was a novella collection. Literally says in big words, a novella collection. So, and I did really enjoy it. The first novella was my favorite in this because it followed a romance author who's a man, which love that. And a girl he meets, they have like a meet cute because the dog that she's grooming in the airport like runs to him, which don't know how I feel about a dog grooming airport business. Like, is that a thing? The whole novella collection is all about like people finding love at the airport. Like, it's cute. It was a fun summery read. I gave it a 3.5 stars. It's hard to like rate a big collection of novellas. I wish I could rate them separately because if I could, I think the first one would be 4 stars. The second one would probably be like, honestly, a 4 stars too. I enjoyed that one too. And the last one would be like a 3.5. I just like wasn't as interested in it, but they were all really fun, really good. It is a quick, easy, fun summer read. Like, I totally recommend this if you are going on vacation. If you have a flight anywhere, this might be a fun one. This might be a good beach read. That's everything you missed with my slow motion clip. So now I have started and gotten like honestly kind of far into Bad Girl Reputation like you guys saw this morning. This is my last book of the week. On chapter 15, I'm moderately liking this. This is not about the character I wanted it to be about. This is the second book in Elle Kennedy's Avalon Bay series, and I was really hoping in the interconnected standalone series that this would be about Bonnie, which is the best friend in Good Girl Complex, because I really liked the storyline and the writing of Good Girl Complex, but I hated the actual characters and what they did. So the book ended up being a 2.5 stars. The one person I did really like in that book was Bonnie. She was like the best friend of the main character. So I was hoping that this book would be about her because I felt like it made sense with the title and like how Bonnie was as a person. It's not. Second chance romance with her ex. I don't like second chance romances, and I don't like our female main character in this. Guys, the Avalon Bay series, I really like Elle Kennedy's writing, but this series I think is just, I don't know how I feel. I've heard that people don't really like the first 2 books in it, but really like Summer Girl, which is the last book in it. So I'm like kind of really hopeful because Summer Girl is on my TBR for next month. So I'm hoping that I enjoy it because so far I'm just like disappointed. I really like Elle Kennedy's writing. Like I was saying, I said the same thing about Good Girl Complex. She writes very quick, easy romances, very fun. Usually they might have like a little bit of a deeper element here and there, and it like adds to the story. Like, I really enjoy Elle Kennedy's romances, but sometimes she writes characters that I just hate. And so far, both of these I just hate. Our main character is going through something in this book. Like, she has like a reason to be like as bitter as she is, but the only personality trait she has so far is like being bitter. I don't like her. Like, I just don't like her. And even Evan, he's like boring. Like, I just think these characters are boring. I don't like them. I don't enjoy them. So it's not like a tough read by any means. It's just like not my favorite read. It is Monday, but I did finish Bad Girl Reputation yesterday. So I did finish it. I have like the same thoughts. I just didn't care about these characters. Take that with a grain of salt though, because I was disappointed that the character I thought was gonna be the main character of this book wasn't. So that might have swayed me a little bit. It just like wasn't my favorite thing. I think honestly, writing wise, normally, even if I don't like Elle Kennedy's characters, I at least like the writing in her books. But writing wise, I think this was like one of my least favorite Elle Kennedy books, and I'm a little disappointed about it. I ended up giving it a 2.5 stars, just like Good Girl Complex. Like they're both kind of on the same rating. I'm really hoping Summer Girl saved this series for me, but I still love Elle Kennedy. I'm still really enjoying her work and her writing. Overall, for this week, this was the first fail week. This was the first week that we failed, but I think I brought it back. I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments if that counts or not. I'm gonna try to not do that where if I fail, I just put the book another day. Like that kind of defeats the purpose of the challenge. The only reason I'm giving myself a little more grace this week is because I was on a trip with my friends and I did want to enjoy that trip with my friends, and I knew it would be like a tough week, and I did get my 2 longest books down on that trip somehow. So sorry if you disagree, but hey, I still read it, so it's still 60 books in 60 days. I promise I'm gonna try to not do that any other day of the challenge. This was just like a weird week, but I still got through. I still got my 7 books in 7 days down technically. I have 21 books off my physical TBR now, which is crazy. I know I bought 2 more, but again, independent bookstore, baby. I'm gonna support my independent bookstores. And there are books that both went on my fall TBR directly, which is a video coming mid-August. So you guys can look forward to that. I'm feeling good. I feel good about the books I read, but I do feel like this week was a little more lackluster in my own personal reading tastes. I did have books that I loved. Like I really loved Beartown. I really liked Carrie Soto's back, but I feel like a lot of the books I read, because I was choosing shorter books, were just like, if you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, you might as well subscribe now. You can join the family. You could go ahead and watch the other videos in this series in the playlist link down below. I have the TBR video, week 1 and week 2 should all be linked in there, so you have plenty of content to watch if you're wanting to watch those. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling slay. I'm looking at my TBR for this week and I am so excited for it, so you guys definitely have something to look forward to. If you like this video, you could go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and with that, I will see you guys all on Sunday for our TBR video. Okay, bye!